Hey, it's Jay, and today I think I started a challenge. I'm actually going to check YouTube really quick and make sure that I'm not just like had the same idea as somebody else. Give me a sec. Okay, so I've looked it up and I can't find anyone who's done this before, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say I've created a challenge. Yeah. Is the same shell, different style build challenge, where you take the same shell of a house and turn it into two distinct styles. So the styles I will be doing in this challenge is a suburban / Victorian build and a modern build. I do suburbans all the time. It's my typical go-to family home when I'm playing The Sims. So I wanted to get better at building more modern because I really do like the look of moderns. I watch James Turner's videos all the time when he does those modern style builds. So I want to get better at it. So I figured this is a kind of a cool way. Start with what I'm comfortable with and then go out of my comfort zone to do that. So yes, that is what I'm doing in this video. If that sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Yes, my Instagram, my simstagram will be posted in the description of this video. That's where I post all my build pictures. When I upload new builds to the gallery, that's where all of that is. But yeah, let's jump into the video. Yes, so about the shell, I didn't want to take too long building it. I didn't want to accidentally make it a more suburban shell or a more modern shell. So I took like 5 minutes, threw something together and said, that's what I'm working with. It ended up being kind of a weird shell, to be honest with you. So I maybe made it harder on myself, but it ended up being okay. I like both the houses. I think they both turned out pretty well, but let me know if you think the same. So first I started with the Victorian home because that's, or suburban I guess it would be, because that's the most comfortable style out of the two that I have. So that really quick section just there was the whole like almost like snapshot section was because my recorder stopped recording when I did all that. So I literally had to restart my recorder and then click the undo button until I got to where it stopped, and then like forward redo until it got to the point I was at. So that's why it looks like that. I think it's kind of cool. I wish I could get rid of those little things and look more artsy, but yeah. So this was pretty easy. This one's faster than the modern one just because I feel like it's a very normal house of mine and I will be doing a bunch of them. So I figured we could speed past this part so the second part wouldn't be too long. Yeah, so it's a very simple 2-bedroom house. So keep them both 2 bedrooms. I wanted to keep them very similar styles, or not styles, the whole point is they're opposite styles, floor plan. So you'll see the bathrooms are in the same spot. The upstairs is laid out differently. In the modern house, it's very strange. It's the only part I'm iffy on. But yeah, so this is the Victorian house happening now. I found this pretty quick. It actually did not take me that long, just because these are the houses I always build for my families and my legacies. I do like the red accents. I think it adds to the hominess of the house, in my opinion. So I did really like those. There I'm trying to put the backpack so it looks like it's hanging off the thing that I do sometimes, but it was bothering me, so I just gave up. So here we're just doing the little decorations, the furnishing. The layout of the kitchen is different in the modern house. It's in that same area. It just moved over slightly, which you'll see. To put it in the same spot, I actually end up putting a skylight in the modern house there, so I figured that would be better for the dining room versus the kitchen. So that's what I do. We're upstairs now, and I really like the kids room in both of these houses. Master bedroom's your typical master bedroom, but the kids rooms that I do, or the teenagers rooms, I guess is what they're more suited out to be in both of them. I really liked how both of them turned out. This one's a weird shape. Second one, the master, is a weird shape, and I think honestly the kids room does in the second one as well. But I really liked how they turned out. I think they're super interesting, and I would kill to have that room like now. So I really liked it. I just did this little reading nook at the top of the stairs. Added that light just to be more old. You'll see, I know it's going by very fast, you'll see screenshots of comparisons between the two builds at the end of the video. This build and the modern build are both available on my gallery page at themccsims, so you can find them there if you like how they turned out. I was pretty proud of both of them. I really like the modern one just because it's so out of my element and I think it turned out really nice, but this is still a nice house too. I would definitely play a family in here, a legacy in here, or something like that. So just doing terrain, put back the stairs. I think we're coming up to the end here. But yeah, furnishing outside has never been my strong point. I never know what to put. The backyards in both of them, it was more about the shell, so I did very basic backyards in both of the houses. So here we're starting the modern build. I slowed it down a bit. That's not as fast as the Victorian one is, just because this was kind of the point of the challenge. I did the whole challenge to get better at a style that I'm not comfortable with. So, and this being the style I'm not comfortable with, I figured I not only took more time on it, but I wanted to kind of show and talk about things that I struggle with when it comes to modern builds. So first is the coloring. There's like this dark navy blue on the bottom, and then white the rest of the way around. I always end up building in like morning light, and I don't know why, because every single time I end up changing it, but I don't know if I just don't notice, but that's just what happens. So here I'm kind of figuring out the roofing. The short wall heights, or the half walls, that's what they're called, is always a safe bet in modern builds. That I know of. I did my research, looked up some pictures, watched some modern builds on YouTube, and that seems to be a good idea. That was where the spotlight was, and it was stupid, so I decided to add it, or move it, make that balcony smaller, and then move it there, and then just put the the dining room underneath it, like I mentioned before. I will move it in. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's out a little bit, so it's just over the back patio. That's not where I want it, so that will be moved. Yeah, I liked using the gray slates for the like patio area, the front porch, the back porch, and keeping the foundation on the ground. I think it gave a nice contrast to the white and complemented the navy blue. Talking like I know what I'm talking about, that's just what I thought, so that's what I did. That roof there was being so annoying, where it connects with the skylight. Yeah, I did not like that it was doing that, but I could try to fix it. It would not fix, so if you have any suggestions, leave them below, but that's what happened. I was going to have that whole side be windows, realized that that's where I want to put the bathroom, and moved it to this side, leaving enough space for the kitchen there in the middle. So like I said, the kitchen was moved slightly. You'll see in this house it's more in the middle of that like long box shape. Yeah, so we're just doing windows. Lots of windows is what I learned. Floor to ceiling windows is what I learned about modern homes, is they have lots of natural light. So that's what I was trying to focus on. There I changed the doors. Those doors aren't my favorite. I really would have rathered something like the first one I had down, but the heights were getting to me so much. I hate that. I hate that there's no like matching window heights for that kind of style, especially when those doors were kind of more contemporary. I feel like they should have, but whatever. I was going to put stairs in here first, and then I couldn't figure out where I wanted them with this kind of layout, and B, I decided that a ladder would be more modern. I don't know why. Maybe I think like inconvenience is like modern, which it kind of is. But yeah, so I'm furnishing the upstairs. It doesn't have a landing like the other place does. It's separated into 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. The master bedroom, which is on the left there, is so long and a weird shape, and furnishing it is a little difficult, but I manage. So here I'm laying down the kitchen in the middle there. I finesse it a little bit because I don't want the counters to be in front of the window. I think one of them ends up being in front of the window. I moved the fridge to the other side, I want to say. Yeah, so I couldn't get the half walls where I wanted them, so I moved everything over. And that fridge does move. Once I put in the dining table, which I think I do right after this, you end up seeing how it looks kind of like too bunched up, too close together for like a decent size first floor. I'm not building a small house or anything. So it looked too bunched up. That's where I fixed the window, and then I go to put in the table. Yeah, and so once I put down the chairs, which I made red as well, is bringing in that from the other house as well. Yeah, so I move it, makes it look a little better. I also, so the complementary colors, so basically what I learned about modern builds is you're supposed to do most of it black and white, and then like choose like statement colors and use that. So I use red and green, mostly green. That way I can use plants literally everywhere. I love the way this house ends up looking actually, so I hope it's modern enough. I do really like the end result of this house, and I would definitely play in it. I would live in it myself. I love modern builds like IRL. Anyways, so I did like how it turned out a lot. So that's the living room there. And again, I'm just putting down basic furniture to kind of map out where I want everything to go. Sort of in the other house, I noticed I was able to do, I did it a little bit, but I was able to do the decorations, the fine details in that moment. But because I don't usually build modern builds, it was a lot easier to place like basic furniture and then add on your details once, well, I hope that wasn't loud, but add on the details once you're happy with where everything is. This bed ends up moving because, as you can see, that one side of the room is just not accessible. I had a hard time furnishing this room, like I said before. It's just such a weird shape, but I really wanted the master to have that balcony, and so does end up being long. I could have cut that out and just had the landing have the balcony, but I figured if this child was getting a balcony, the parent should get the balcony as well. So that's the upstairs bedroom. I have that jet towel, which I didn't realize I liked that much. I'm realizing it now. I think I put it in my Victorian build too. Yeah, because it doesn't have a shower. That's one downside of the suburban Victorian. I'm using the words interchangeably. I know they're not. I'm just thinking about places like where I live, suburban and kind of Victorian mish to create the houses near me. So that's where my brain's at. But yeah, that doesn't have a shower, so it's easy enough to throw in if you want one. But yeah, this house has both, which I think is nice, in the same bathroom, which is cool and trendy. So here I'm bringing in all the green. You'll see me start just to add plants like a madman. I always think my only problem with modern builds is they're so black and white. So I try to fix that problem with adding a lot of greenery while keeping the rest of the furniture, the rest of the style very contemporary. That bowl I specifically put there because I'm just thinking, like, you throw your keys in there, you throw your mail in there, like that's just like a bowl to have by your door. I don't have one. I live in an apartment. If I didn't, I probably would, but yes. So yeah, I'm just literally adding so many plants. And then I'm trying to find a green photo. Those pictures above the computer desk, actually, I purposely picked those, not only because I love those, you'll see I use them in the past house as well, but I picked them because they have green and red, so it ties in the chairs and the red accents as well, which I think only end up being those chairs, which is why I needed something, just to be like, it's not just a random thing. So I think that photo does it wonderfully, especially since it's such a big open area. So now I'm working upstairs. I finesse with this room so much. I think I actually finish it, go to the child's room, and then come back to it just because I was not happy with the way that it turns out. Yeah, just little clutter items to make it look like somebody actually lives in it, more plants. And the balcony I kept really, really simple. I think if you play in this house, you could put anything that your parents or the older people in the master bedroom is working on, skill building items, stuff like that. But for now, I just put in a couple lounge chairs. I was trying to, those walls, these slats end up being my favorite thing. So another thing is when you were building with just these basic colors, the walls end up looking so bare. I use them in 3 different places, I think, just because it adds something to the walls and it's still modern, and I just like it a lot. I think that was a really good item. Here I wanted to make my own vanity because the vanities in the game aren't obviously modern style as you're seeing, but the mirrors were so high up and I just could not fathom putting it there. So I did end up putting in that vanity that's definitely not modern at all. I will admit that. But yeah, so here I'm finessing with the bed a little bit more, or the room a little bit more. I was thinking if I could add a tile to make it easier, but I just couldn't. I was already using up all of that space. So yeah, so I ended up moving the bed to make sure you had access to both sides, and then putting more green photos in there since it's like a greeny room. Yeah, and then over out here I decided she was an artist. So again, you can switch that to whatever skill building item you wanted. I was going to put plants in on this balcony and just decided that the wall was too high to allow it, and I didn't want to lower the wall just because all the walls were the same height and lowering one could look weird. So yeah, here I'm working on the outside. This one was easier just because it wasn't on a foundation, which means I didn't have to lower it and raise it again, which you have to do, otherwise the plants jump up to be on that foundation. So this one was a little easier just to throw plants down and not have to worry about that. But yeah, I didn't do anything special with the plants. I don't know if you're supposed to do anything special with modern build plants. So I kind of did my usual bushes around or lining the front, and then grass and flowers randomly placed. And then here I was going to do that. Hated it. It's so gross. I don't even know why I thought that was a good idea. And then I moved to the slats, which I really, really like. I think those slats are awesome. I think they came in Eco Living, Eco Lifestyle, whatever that pack's called. The pack that just came out, yeah, whatever it's called. And yeah, so there's just a nice sitting area in the back. Like I said, the backs were kind of not an afterthought, but the whole point was to turn the shell into a different style. So I didn't spend too much time on the backs of either of the houses. So just a fair warning, you're not going to get a big pool and a pool house and everything like that. It's very simple for the back here. yep, I'm just continuing doing the landscaping. So all in all, I do feel a lot better about building modern builds. I had a lot of fun actually building that house, and I think continuing to build them will allow me to get better at them. But I'm really impressed for the differences between the two houses and turning the same shell into either. I put decent effort into both of those. I think each of them ended up taking me an hour and a half to 2 hours, I want to say, roughly. So yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they're really cool, and I definitely like this challenge, and we'll probably be doing it again with some different styles. I was thinking of doing like a jungle one and maybe a vampires one, like that fully gothic Victorian versus like a island adventure, island paradise. What's that pack called? Jungle adventure, island living. That's what it is. So I was thinking of doing another one of these types of challenges with that, maybe a smaller house, just because, well, Gothic Victorian wouldn't be very smaller. But point is, I think I really like this challenge. I think it's a fun challenge. I think putting your mind space into each style for the different box is super interesting. So I'll probably be doing more of those, I think. But yes, if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a like and maybe a subscribe. Stick around to see what other stuff I have coming. I have a lot of cool ideas festering in my brain. I post new videos every Thursday and Saturday. I finally picked the dates. They work with my work schedule, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I will see you in the next video on Saturday. Bye!